and I should say the Illinois government, because not the people of Illinois, they snuck in the most insane bill in the entire country when it comes to non-detainable offenses. To help us unpack this is the mayor of a fabulous city, Orland Park. I've spent a lot of time in Orland Park. And he's also running for Congress in the 6th Congressional District in Illinois. And it is Keith Pecaw, and he joins us right now. Keith, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Thanks for having me, Charlie. I appreciate it.
So, Keith, tell us about the SAFE-T Act. What are now non-detainable offenses starting in January of next year?
So some of the non-detainable offenses, and this is not all of them, but kidnapping, threatening a public official, second-degree murder, armed robbery, assaults, the list goes on and on. Pretty much the only thing that they can be held for is murder without jumping through a ton of hoops.
I mean, so the list here is second-degree murder, robbery, kidnapping, intimidation, drug-induced homicide, what is drug-induced homicide exactly? I made a guess of what it is. Based on the wording, does that mean that you kill somebody under the influence of drugs?
I don't know if that's what it means, or it means you gave somebody drugs to kill them. I'm not sure what that means. I'd have to talk to our police department to know. But essentially, if it's not first-degree murder,
yes,
you're out with no bail.
Burglary, arson, aggravated fleeing, aggravated DUI, aggravated battery. So, Mr. Mayor, was this done with a lot of debate and back and forth, or was this done rather quietly? This didn't receive the attention that it should have. This is the most dangerous, ludicrous, insane piece of legislation I have seen when it comes to crime ever.
So what they did was it was a different bill number, and there were about 40,000 witness slips, as I recall, against it. We spoke against it. A lot of people spoke against it. And then they took that bill off the table, and then in the middle of the night, they reintroduced a new bill with a new number, so it has no witness slips, and it was literally in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. I got 40 minutes to read it, and then they voted on it. And it was nearly, I think it was a 786-page bill, if I recall, but it was in that neighborhood in 40 minutes.
But, I mean, crime is going up all across Illinois. It's going up in Chicago. I don't know if it's going up in Orland Park or not, but I'm hearing lots of reports that it's starting to go up in the collar counties and in the suburbs. And so now we have this bill, that's law, while crime is going up. What do everyday people in the suburbs of Chicago think about this? I mean, I can't imagine this is popular even with moderate Democrats.
I don't think they really know, and I don't think it's popular. Here in Orland Park, we've been managed to buck the crime statistics and lowered crime for the last 5 years. The lowest has been in 27 years, but we're under incredible pressure from Cook County with Kim Foxx's policies, and this is Kim Foxx's policies on steroids. I mean, this is going to lead to everyone having to take the law into their own hands, because even worse than the bail issue is the fact that trespassing now becomes a shall issue a ticket. They cannot be arrested. An officer can't put their hands on a suspect, or it's a Fourth Amendment violation. So for anything that's trespassing. So someone can come live in your shed. They could camp out at your pool. They could camp out in your front yard. They could get into a business, and officers can't remove them. Well, but now people are going to have to take that responsibility. How's that going to work out?
So you're trying to tell me that if someone breaks into your home, the police cannot remove that person?
So if they camp out in your garage, if they break the doors, then obviously it's breaking and entering, so then you can do something. But if they go camp out in your shed, or they decide to climb your pool, or they decide to pitch a tent in your front yard, or they walk into an open door in your garage and decide to camp out in there, and they're trespassing, that would be trespassing. They cannot arrest them. They're not allowed to lay their hands on them. They shall issue them a ticket. So that's what will happen. Somebody throws a rock through a window in a business. That's also a ticketable. There's other offenses as well that are tickets only. But somebody camps themselves out in a business and decides they won't leave, like in a bar. They're drunk and disorderly in a bar, and they're just trespassing. The officers won't be able to remove them. What could go wrong if they stay there for 2 more hours?
I hope everyone in the national audience is listening very carefully to what you're saying. This is not some academic paper. This is not some op-ed. This is the law in the state of Illinois, effective in January, where if someone Yeah, please go
It
ahead.
was passed last year, and the reason it's not going into effect in January is because they know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
And it's going to lead to residents businesses having to take the law into their own hands. And that is not a recipe for a very civil society.
No, that's Brazil, actually. And that's not a pleasant place to live. Brazil's a beautiful country, but if you have money in Brazil, you have armed guards and bulletproof cars, and you have a fenced-in gated community, and when the sun goes down, you're very careful where you go at night. That's the type of society they're creating. Let me ask you, why do you think they're doing this? What is the motivation here?
I can't understand why anyone who's sitting in public office would have this motivation. I mean, this is going to lead to anarchy, and I can't see where that's good for anyone. I'm sure we could follow the money. I did see something the other day that there's a lot of back-end issues with regards to this particular law, because it requires body cams and some other things and doesn't fund it. But the expenses to handle all of that, there are legislators that are invested in the companies that, of course, that do that. So I'm sure if we followed the money trail, there'd be some of that involved. It is Illinois after all.
I mean, it's incredible. So you're running for Congress. Tell us about your race and how people can support you.
So I'm running in the Illinois 6th District, which is the southwest and west suburbs of Chicago. I'm running against incumbent Sean Casten. You can support me at keithpecaw.com. It's a seat that we are going to flip to take back the House. And even though it's in the suburbs of Chicago, they actually created a district that's actually very winnable. And we're planning on winning it. You can't find anyone further left than Sean Casten. He's as far left, actually further left than AOC. So people have a distinct choice here in Illinois. And hopefully they start making the right one, because we're at the precipice in Illinois, as you see with this law.
I mean, it's bad. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Charlie. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.